Do you ever feel like your horse just maybe doesn't like you or they don't want to be around you? Well, just about every horse rider has probably felt this at one point or another. Whether you're getting your first horse or you already have a horse, building your relationship can help you both feel confident and trusting around each other. So that's what I'm going to cover today. My first point to building a better relationship with your horse is just to chill out. So what I mean by this is oftentimes in the horse world, we are very focused on what we're doing. If we're not competing, then we need to be training, and if we're not training, we need to be competing. So that leaves no time for just spending time with your horse and just relaxing and letting your horse relax. Let's say you made a new friend, but every time you see this person, they're asking you to do something. How many of you would really want to spend time with them? I know I wouldn't. So we got to remember this about horses too. If we're just constantly asking them to do something, then they're probably just going to associate us with that. They're not going to look at us as like a friend or someone they want to spend time with. When it comes to bonding with your horse, especially if it's your first horse, instead of just jumping right into work, it's a great idea to just let them chill out around you so that they learn that you're not really going to force them to do anything, or you're not just going to make them work every time you see them. So there's a few different things you can do. One is just letting them eat. Horses love to eat, so this is a great place to start. If the horse can learn that I'm going to get them and feed them or let them graze, the horse is going to start being like, oh, that's the lady who has food. Another thing you can do is work on grooming your horse or just relaxing, maybe taking them on a leisurely walk. This is getting your horse used to being in your presence without having the obligation of work. Probably one of the best ways you can better your relationship with your horse is spending quality time with them. So just like with humans, we get to know each other by spending time with each other. Just like when I first met my husband, I spent a lot of time with him before he actually became my husband. So same thing with your horse. If you want your horse to learn to trust you, know who you are, want to be around you, the first thing you need to do is spend time with them. When I talk about quality time with your horse, the best way you can spend time with them is on the ground where you're face to face rather than you being on the back of the horse. The horse really doesn't get to know you from you being on their back. They get to know you when you're on the ground, and they can communicate with you this way. By spending time with your horse, you're also going to learn how your horse communicates and what they like and what they don't like. So this can make training just an overall easier process. When I say spend quality time with your horse, this doesn't mean you have to spend hours on end with them at a time. This can actually lead to your horse becoming disinterested and want to go do something else. So even just spending 10 to 15 minutes with them at a time, where you're just on the ground with them and you can be grooming them, leading them around, doing something fun other than riding, that can be a great way for them to get to know you. Another great way to build a relationship with your horse is through groundwork. So groundwork is working your horse on the ground or doing anything with your horse on the ground. This allows you to really develop a relationship face to face rather than you on the horse's back. It's a great way to teach your horse how you're going to communicate with them and what you expect out of them. One of the best things groundwork is going to do is teach both of you how to be comfortable around one another. It's going to teach your horse to trust you and you being around them, while it's also going to teach you to be confident around your horse. That's why groundwork is so important, but sadly it's often overlooked when it comes to building a relationship with your horse. Groundwork is known as the foundation of horse training, and because it's so important, I created an online course that walks you through really simple groundwork exercises that you can do with your horse, but that's really going to make a difference between your relationship. Go to shop.equinehelper.com or click the link in the description to check it out. Another great way to build a relationship with your horse is simply to do things they enjoy. So this can really come in handy when it comes to riding your horse. So riding can become very monotonous, especially if you're training for something in particular. Horses can quickly become bored with this, and when this happens, they may display behaviors like not coming to in the pasture, or maybe they just want to go back to the barn when being ridden, or they become sour and develop negative behaviors when they're being ridden. By adding things you know your horse enjoys to your routine, whether you're riding or on the ground, it can really make them want to be around you. This doesn't mean you have to completely drop your training and everything you've worked towards. Instead, just throughout the week, try adding something in that you know your horse will like to do. So for example, throughout the week, me and Tucker will work on things we're focused on, but then at the end of each session, take him down to the bottom field and we go for a canter or a gallop, and he just loves that, and I can tell he really likes it. And so I try to add that into the routine so I know it's something that he will enjoy. Another tip for bettering your relationship with your horse is to constantly be challenging yourself. If you never challenge yourself, you're really going to become stagnant when it comes to your own ability and your ability to build a relationship with your horse. New challenges provides you the opportunity to show your horse that they can trust you and that you can help them work through a situation. A few different ways you can challenge yourself and your horse is by desensitizing and getting them used to new objects. Maybe it's going over a scary jump that you've never gone over before, or trying a new discipline you've never tried. It could even be going on your first trail ride with your new horse. So while these things may be out of your comfort zone, it's a great opportunity to grow as a rider and grow as a leader for your horse. I do highly recommend, if it is something out of your comfort zone, to have a riding instructor to help you through it and help you through communicating with your horse through that situation. We talked about groundwork earlier, so groundwork is perfect for getting your horse through these new challenges. It enables you to work your horse in a controlled environment and introduce them to these new things on the ground before you do it on their back. I have an online course that shows really easy groundwork exercises you can do with your horse to help you get through these new challenges. In this course, I break it down step by step and walk you through exactly how to do these exercises with your horse so you can go right out to the barn and try them yourself. I also include quizzes and homework that help the information that you're learning sink in. So if you're interested, go to shop.equinehelper.com. Subscribe!